Hello, welcome back. Today in this video we're featuring quite a special car actually. It's an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifolio. There it is. 2.9 litre twin turbo V6. It's quite a high spec this one as well. Nice interior, nice wheels, red calipers. And it's absolutely covered in
carbon fiber, 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 carbon fiber.
So the customer is selling the vehicle. It's been sat for about 8 months. It's just not been driven, not been taxed. It's been sitting, it's been festering. It was covered in cobwebs, dirt, grime, all sorts. So in today's video, we're gonna get the wheels off. We're gonna give it a wheel off decontamination, polishing up the brake calipers, dressing everything in the wheel arches, making sure it's spotless. We're gonna clean up the interior. There's a few marks on the steering wheel and the Alcantara that we're gonna get rid of. We're gonna deep clean the engine bay and dress it, get that looking smart, ready to be sold, and just give it a really good general cleanup. So, without further ado, let's get into it, and I'll see you outside to give it a wash.
As you can see, this Alfa had seen better days. After sitting there for so long, it was absolutely caked in all sorts. It was even starting to grow mould on the steering wheel. But that's why it's with us, to clean it up and get it back to its former glory. So let's get into it. On some of the wheels there was some glue left over from previous wheel weights, so we're just getting rid of that with some tire and glue remover and a plastic scraper. This is why we're doing a wheel off wash. Just look at how much dirt there is in those arches. We're going to start off with a pre-wash. Then back in with more of that pre-wash. We're going to go with some strong wheel cleaner on the brake calipers and discs. Then we'll give everything one final rinse. Next is onto the engine bay. We're hitting it with that pre-wash again, then we'll give it a rinse down. Next we're going in with a strong APC. Basically this is a really good degreaser. So we're going to get everything covered in that, then cover it in foam and give it a good scrub.
He hasn't been decontaminated yet! Jacques!
Oui.
Clean in!
Oui.
Ocean!
Ouh, la mer. Bon. Voilà, he is clean.
Once it's all been scrubbed, everything gets a thorough rinse down. Now a lot of people are scared of going anywhere near their engine bay with water, but honestly, it's not that dangerous. Everything's sealed, especially on modern cars. You've just got to stay away from things like fuse boxes and maybe cover up the alternator, and then obviously don't go blasting everything close up. Just stand back and let the water do the work. Next up, the body of the car gets hit with the pre-wash. I'm using a citrus degreaser, and then we're topping that up with a coat of snow foam. That's just going to help it dwell for longer, let it soak and soften all of that dirt that's on the surface of the paintwork. Before we rinse it all off and give it a wash. Then after it's washed, we hit it with a hydrophobic sealant just to give the paintwork a little bit of gloss and make it easier to clean next time round.
So, engine, it's all clean, but it's still soaking wet. We can't go in there just drying it with a cloth because we've got all places like this, like these, deep down in the engine, you just can't get to. So for that, we need this, which is an air blower. This one's heated, so that helps now and again. If you can't get the water out of a place, you can dry it out, and of course the tube. So, I'm going to use that to get the water off of that, and then we can dress it up and make it look all shiny. Now, car's dry, car's clean. We need to get this engine bay dressed up. It looks nice and clean, but this plastic could look a whole lot better. So, to do that, mind the mess, it's busy. We need this. Give it a shake. This is some CarPro Pearl, which I have here. This is how it usually comes. Gloopy and thick. I've mixed this down at a ratio of 3 to 1, I believe. So about a quarter of the bottle full with Pearl, fill the rest up with water. And all we're going to do with this is spray it over everything. Now it's water based, which means that you can just spray it on, cover everything in it. Doesn't matter about getting any of it on this surrounding paintwork, because all we'll do afterwards is to wipe it off with some quick detailer, but I can just spritz the whole engine bay with it. And then, when that's done, we just leave it to air dry basically. And the majority of it the water will evaporate, leaving just the silicons within the dressing behind, making it all look not glossy, but leave it a nice sheen. And then, any sort of wet bits left over we can wipe off. But it should leave it looking nice and shiny. So we'll leave that while we're doing everything else. And then right at the end, you'll be able to see the results. So, car's up, wheels are off, it's all clean, but we've got one slight problem. These calipers, they're still red, but there are some little ingrained bits that you can't quite clean off. They're all a bit ingrained, they're going a bit pink. Unfortunately, we can't do much about these stone chips. I haven't got time to be painting calipers, but we can definitely make these a bit more shiny. We've also got to dress up all these plastics, give these carpeted areas maybe a quick hoover down just to get any bits that have flicked up onto it, and just get it looking a bit more smart. We'll do that for every single corner, and then get it down and we can get on to the interior.
So here, all we've got is a medium cut pad and a medium cut polish on this 1-inch polisher, and we're just really looking to brighten up the paintwork and get any of that ingrained brake dust off of the caliper. For those places we can't reach with the polisher, we're just putting a dab of polish onto a rag and then getting in there with our finger. Here we're just giving the carpeted areas of the wheel arches a quick vacuum to get rid of any leftover dirt. And then we're going to give the plastic areas a thick coat of CarPro Pearl. We're then going to let that drip dry and it will leave a nice uniform finish.
Well, here we go. Cool little fact. I didn't know this about these Alfas. But just cleaning this under tray in the wheel arch, I didn't know that they were crushed carbon. I thought it was just plastic. But there you go. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but to me that looks like Crushed carbon, that's not dirt, that's the texture of the material. Obviously this is what laid, weaved carbon fibre looks like. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And it goes all the way from the back there, from the diffuser, all the way along the underbelly of the car. Pretty cool.
Laking on the track.
Now, obviously this wheel is pretty badly scuffed, but it's only around these very edges. Now the customer isn't too worried about it being perfect, but they just want it to look the same colour, so from a distance it's not too obvious. Now luckily, next door to me is a paint sprayer, and we managed to rummage through, or should I say he managed to rummage through his different tins of paint, and without even mixing it, we managed to find a pretty good match, a very dark metallic grey. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to panel wipe it and just give it a little dab with some of this, get it looking a whole lot smarter.
Once that's all done, the wheels get one final wipe down to get rid of any dust or watermarks, and then they can go back on the car.
Laking on the track.
Then once the tyres have got a good dressing while they're off the ground so we can reach every single area, it's time to jump onto the interior. All I'm using to clean the interior surfaces is the same Built Hamber Surfex HD APC that we used on the engine bay, except this time it's diluted at a much higher ratio so that it doesn't harm any of the materials.
So, this steering wheel is leather, carbon, and then this stuff, which is called Alcantara. It's a fabric, and it's lovely to touch, lovely to hold on to, but because it's a fabric, every single bit of dirt and grime and grease that's on your hands just sticks to it. And this, as you can probably see from the light reflecting off it, well, it's turned into, well, it almost looks like leather. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up. Now the best thing to do with Alcantara, it can be quite delicate. You don't want to get it too wet, and you want to start off with the most delicate cleaning agent first. So we are just going to start off with some fabric cleaner. And all we're going to do is we're going to grab a fresh cloth. Lovely. And another one, sorry. 2 fresh cloths. And a brush. And we are going to give it a clean.
As I said, it's always important to start with the least aggressive method so you're not causing any unnecessary damage. So I started with just a damp cloth that had a bit of fabric cleaner on it, however this didn't shift any of the dirt. So then I moved to a soft brush with some more of that fabric cleaner on there and got to work scrubbing the Alcantara. Then I wiped it down with a dry cloth to remove any of that dirt that we shifted with the brush and also leave it nice and dry. Following the glass, all that was left was the mats. And of course, we had to give them carpet stripes. I then cleaned the exterior glass and then gave the paintwork one final wipe down with some quick detailer to get rid of any dust or handprints and leave it nice and glossy. And with that, it was finished.